I don't want a DJ who talks too much. We've all heard that, right? What does that mean? Like when a client says that to me, I usually say, okay, which announcements don't you want me to make? Oh, well, we want you to make all the announcements. See, no DJs think they talk too much, but most of us do. Most of us make an announcement way too lengthy. And we've talked before about using adjectives and that sort of stuff. There's a DVD that I bought years ago, a whole series of DVDs from a guy back in New Jersey, not Mike Walter, who, it was called the How-To videos, and they were horrible. I mean, just really, they were awful. I don't know if that guy's still in business and still watching this. If you are, man, I'm sorry, but your stuff was awful. But he did and I've shown this in some of my seminars. He does an introduction of the best man for the toast, and it goes something like this. Now, it wouldn't be any kind of a good wedding reception if we couldn't have a toast, and you'll notice that in front of each and every one of you, there is a champagne glass. I want each and every one of you to take that champagne glass in the hand that you drink by and raise it up high in the air as we turn the microphone over to our best man, Joe, who has prepared a very special toast. I would show that video to clients, and they would go, yeah, that's what I don't want. But this was the guy actually showing how to do it. It was the good example. And I would say, I don't know how I'm going to introduce your best man, but my introduction of your best man would be something along the lines of, and now to offer the first toast, here's the best man, Joe. And people would be like, yes. So what do we do as DJs? And we talk about this a lot in our DVDs. We use trigger phrases and we use repetitive phrases. So a typical introduction of a best man, which should be simple as, and now to offer the first toast, here's our best man, Joe, would be something like, now, okay, ladies and gentlemen, if I could have everybody's attention at this time, I'd like to turn your attention to the head table, and we begin, and it's like, all of that is just nonsense. We don't need at this time. We don't need ladies and gentlemen in front of every announcement. We don't need the wonderful, beautiful maid of honor and the handsome, gorgeous best man. We don't need all of that. Say what you need to say, and then move on. Sometimes you're a storyteller. Sometimes you're not. Sometimes you just need to shut the front door and move on with it. So when we're being repetitive, think about, do you use a trigger phrase? A trigger phrase is what you start with. Okay, all right. And most DJs have that. Every time they hold the microphone up, they begin with, okay, all right. And then they begin to speak. You don't need to do that. If you listen to professional masters of ceremonies, they don't do that. Say what you need to say. Command the room at the very beginning so they learn that when you speak, something really great is about to happen, and you'll have them. You don't need those trigger phrases. You don't need to say ladies and gentlemen. It's a separating word. If you do it, every time you go ladies and gentlemen, it's essentially saying you people, right? Don't need to do that. You're just talking to people. When you're sitting around your house and you're talking, you don't say, ladies and gentlemen, I have an announcement to make. Or worse, okay, all right, ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, not right now, ladies and gentlemen, I have an announcement to make. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to, like, that's what we do over and over and over. Stop, slow it down, take a breath, and speak without all of that extraneous stuff. I just cleaned that up for this video. And just say what you need to say. But it starts from that opening announcement that we talk so much about. If you own that room from the beginning, and they trust you, and they believe you, and they know you're not filling it with a bunch of nonsense about the beautiful venue that we're at, and it's, some tore up VFW hall that is not beautiful. And that's okay. It doesn't have to, every venue doesn't have to be beautiful. Every bride doesn't have to be beautiful. That's such a subjective term. Like, just cut that out, calm down, slow it down, and be a true master of ceremonies, not just an announcer. Uncle Eddie can be the announcer. They don't need us for that. They need a master of ceremonies without all of the repetitive extra words. And then your clients won't be saying, I don't want a DJ who talks too much. And they never mean too much. They mean too poorly. That's what they really mean. So number of words is important, but really getting to the point and focusing them and having them want to listen to you, that's what really matters. That's today's minute.